survive. Now, some of you have not lost children, but I'm going to tell you this. You're losing something every day as long as the city of Pensacola and the county of Escambia, Florida, fly that rebel rag. I'm sorry, excuse me. Fly that rebel rag down. We got a man on the county commission, and I don't care what anybody says about what I'm fixing to say now. But we got a man on the county commission, the only man, the only elected black official who has had the nerve to stand up and say, take the flag down. Now, let me mention this. It ain't only white folk who are upset with him. Some white folk. I know Diane ain't, because she was down there. Hold your hand up, Diane, where everybody know who you be. But it's not only white folk who are upset with Lumen May. There's some black folk who are upset with Lumen May. But I want you to know that until we as a people develop, my grandmama used to say, you ain't got no backbone, you got a gristle. So we need to get rid of our gristle.
Get some backbone.
And develop some backbone. I went to jail over that rag. Yeah. I went to jail over that rag. That rag doesn't define me. And I don't think it defines anybody out here. But I want you to understand that as long as that hateful thing is flying, these people who are killing your children feel that they have a license to do what they're doing. Now, how many of you remember Deborah Jones? How many remember Deborah Jones? All right, let me tell you a little bit about that, and then I'm done. Deborah Jones was a part-time employee at the Pensacola News-Journal. She was in the car with Wendell Blackwell the night that Doug Raines blew his brains out at a distance of 3 feet. She ran. We caught up with Deborah Jones, who was living in a trailer, who was registered to Doug Raines, the man who killed Wendell Blackwell. But sometimes we can talk too much. Reverend Brooks and I met with Deborah at her home, and she had to go to a meeting, and we told her we would be back. We made an announcement to the press that we were going back to talk to Deborah Jones again. Before we got a chance to go and talk to her, her body was found, thrown off the viaduct up by Washington High School. A camper was spotted in that area, and that camper was registered to Doug Raines. I called a detective from the Sheriff's Department in 2001, gave him the information that I had. This is one of the cold cases. He took the information, and about 3 weeks later, mailed it back to me with no return address and no comment. I called, they had a picture of Deborah Jones over on the west side. Crime Stoppers. I called Crime Stoppers, told them that I had some information about Deborah Jones. We'll get back to you, Mr. Matthews. Well, they haven't had time because it's only been 8 years. How interested are some of the people some of the powers that be in this city in finding out who have murdered some of the people in this city? And let me tell you something, not only black folk have been murdered, white people have been murdered, white people have been missing, and this is a color-blind situation. And we need to understand that God has his eye on everybody, not only here, but in this city. And I say to you that I know I've been through it when I was down there in that state penitentiary. I can remember them doors slamming in my face at night, and I sit there with my head down, and I sat there brooding, looked like I could hear something say, "Lift up your head, Matthews, and be ye lifted up, the everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in." And looked like I'd look around and say, well, who is this King of glory? And I could hear it echoing back to me, the Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. He is the King of glory. And I know that some of you have been through it because you don't know the fate of your loved ones. But you can say in the words of the song, and then I'm going to take my seat, Reverend Dempsey, that I've had some good days. I've had some hills to climb. I've had some dreary days and some sleepless nights. But when I look around and think things over, all of my good days outweigh my bad days. I won't complain. Sometimes my clouds hang low. I can hardly see the road. And I ask the question, why? Why, Lord? Why so much pain? But he knows what's best for me. More than these old eyes can ever see. And so I say, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I won't complain. And Cindy, and those of you who are out here, you're going to run into obstacles. People are going to stand in your way. Satan is going to try and slow walk you down. But every time he tries to slow walk you down, then I am going to take my seat. Just look at him and say, harder yet may be the fight. Right may often yield to might, wickedness a while may reign. Satan's cause might seem to gain. But there's a God who rules the ball with a hand of power and a heart of love. And if I'm right, he'll fight my battle. I'll have peace someday. I do not know how long 'twill be or what the future holds for me. But this one thing I know, if Jesus leads, I'll have peace someday. God bless you.